How do you ride a motorcycle if your clutch cable snaps? The existing clutch cable on this bike is out of adjustment, so I went out and bought a new clutch cable. But before I fit it, I thought I would use this opportunity. Took a hacksaw to the old one, as you can see up here. It's completely had it now. And the bike would be unrideable. Okay, how do you ride this bike with a broken clutch cable like that? Well, first of all, let's jump on the machine. Start her up. As you can see, this clutch cable is completely severed here. Alright. Bike's in neutral fine. The problem is, if I put the bike into gear now, it will stall on me. Let's put it into first gear. Okay, at this point, a lot of riders are stuck by the side of the road looking to call a tow truck. You don't have to do that. There is a way you can ride your motorcycle if, God forbid, your clutch cable separates like that. This is only to be used as a get you home measure. Obviously, you don't ride your bike like this normally. Let's take it outside. I'll demonstrate what to do. It's very, very simple. So, how do you ride the bike if your clutch cable snaps? Let's have a little check. There we go. Completely frayed. Clutch is inactive. Very, very simple. Now, you can use a hill, you can push the bike, or you can have a friend to push the bike. Now, there are a few methods you can do this. You can do this one, which I do not like, which is running with the bike. Jumping on! Down into first gear, and then off you go. Okay? You can use a little hill, and you may want to select second gear, depending on the gradient of the hill. Anything that gives a little bit of momentum to get the bike moving, that's what you want. Or, you can sit on the bike, which I prefer to do, and just walk it along. Try and get up to a running pace. There we go, around 5 miles an hour. Just giving it a little bit of throttle, down into first gear, and off we go. Now, that's getting moving. How do you change gear? Well, it's exactly the same as you normally would. You've heard of clutchless off shifting before. You're on the throttle, roll off, up one in the gearbox, back on the throttle again. How does that work on the road? Well, I'll show you now. Okay, clutch cable still completely disengaged. Right, how do we change gear then? So I'll go to take off in first gear, change up, I will clutchless off shift up to second gear. Let's get it moving. Off we go. There we go. So down into first, there we go. We're moving. At this point, roll for throttle. Roll for throttle and up one in the gearbox, up to second gear. First gear, no clutch at all. Roll off, up to second. Roll off, up to third. Okay? That's going up the gearbox. How do you change down the gearbox, I hear you say? A little bit more challenging, but it's still completely doable. Take off here, put it up to third gear. We'll change down, so let's get it moving. A little bit of throttle, down into first gear. Right, so we are. Second, up to third. I'm going to change down the gearbox, so I'm rolling off, gentle braking. Down one in the gearbox, the bike slows down. Let's get down to a walking pace. Down again to first gear, back in the throttle. Clutchless downshifting is not as easy as clutchless upshifting, but you can do it. So here we are riding the bike around completely with no clutch at all. Roll off, first, second, up to third. Just going to slow down with a little bit of rear brake here. Down one, down two. No clutch at all. This is just to get you home measure. This is not to be used riding the bike normally. Just to get you off the road and to ride the bike in an emergency situation if you need it. Now, how do you deal with junctions? How do you deal with a roundabout? What if you have to stop at traffic lights? Simple thing to do, plan ahead. Plan ahead as far as you can. You should be doing that anyway on two wheels. You roll up to a set of red traffic lights, time your approach so that you get there just as they change to green, and you can keep the bike moving. Okay? So, let's pretend this grey car over here is a traffic light. I'm going to approach, slow down, not stop, keep the bike moving. I'll continue on my merry way. Alright, let's get it moving. There we go. Down the first, there we go. So, let's pretend the traffic light is red now. I'm approaching in second gear. So I'm slowing down, using the brakes. Down into first gear, just rolling up. Let's say, for example, now the traffic light changes to amber and to green. We can just ride on through. What if you have to stop at a red traffic light? Well, try to get the bike into neutral a little bit earlier, just before you come to a halt so the bike doesn't stall. and then you can move away. Depending if you're on a little hill or pushing the bike or have a mate pushing you, you can be on your merry way. Let's approach this grey car. We'll stop there, put the bike into neutral, and then move on again. Okay, I know I have to slow down and stop, so easing back, down to second. Have to click down to neutral. Remember, the clutch isn't working at all. Let's say the traffic light changes now. On we go. Give it a little push. Throttle, first gear. Off we go again. What if I have to come to a complete stop, I hear you say, an emergency stop? Well, let's approach here in third gear. And it's clear. Front brake before the rear. Smooth, firmer. Down one, down two, and then neutral. There we go. Easy peasy. Just changing down the gearbox without using the clutch. Obviously, it depends on the size of your bike. A little 125 is easier than a large machine, but the principle is the same. Okay, that is how you ride a motorcycle with a damaged clutch cable. And remember, it's only to be used in emergencies. It's not to be used as an everyday method of riding your motorcycle. As you can see here, with practice, it does become reasonably straightforward. Okay guys, ride safe.